Hello, and welcome to the Dementia Dish on Tattoos with Danielle. My name is Danielle Farrell, and I am a public educator with the Alzheimer's Society of Peel, coming to speak to you today about tattoos. We'll be looking at the common cultural and religious views on tattoos, what some of the common tattoos you might see are, tattoos as a memory aid, why there might be some confusion and misinterpretation of tattoos for people living with dementia, when it's appropriate to discuss a tattoo with people living with dementia, their possible reactions, and when their family or care providers have tattoos. Why is this important? Well, as tattoos and body modifications become more common, we are going to see an influx in people who have tattoos, seniors, family members, and care partners. It is important that we incorporate dementia-friendly strategies when supporting the person living with dementia around those possible triggers that can result from our body art or from theirs. There are many religious views on tattoos. In Islam, permanent tattoos are forbidden and frowned upon, although many younger generations living in North America may not follow this belief. In Judaism, traditional Jewish law, particularly in Orthodox Judaism, it's prohibited to have tattoos because it is seen as a form of self-mutilation and or a violation of Levitical scripture. Christians have many perspectives on tattoos and they vary. So some people may get tattoos to commemorate significant events or to proclaim their faith. Hindu perspectives on tattoos vary among different sects and communities, with some using tattoos for religious or cultural purposes and others having more neutral or negative views. Indigenous cultures worldwide have embraced using tattoos in rituals and rites of passage. While some Buddhist cultures use tattoos in rituals or religious expression, others view them as disrespectful to Buddha, especially if it is an image of Buddha that is tattooed. Why are these religious views on tattoos important? Well, your tattoo could trigger somebody who has one of these particular backgrounds as a result of their religious belief systems. What common tattoos might we see in seniors? So you may see a military tattoo reflecting the branch they serve. This may be, for example, the Canadian Armed Forces. They may have a Navy tattoo or may have been a sailor. They may have a tribal or cultural or religious tattoo. They may have served time and have a prison tattoo. They may have a tattoo that is in memory of something significant or a person that was significant to them. They also may have, if they were a Holocaust survivor, numbers that are tattooed on their wrist. So should we bring up the tattoo? Well, because there's many reasons why someone may have a tattoo. We may need to figure out where the person living with dementia is at with regards to their tattoo before that. So before chatting about it, we want to figure out whether they recognize or acknowledge their tattoo. We want to leave our thoughts and feelings about tattoos out of the conversation. In the earlier stages of a person's dementia journey, tattoos may be a positive reminder of a time or a place, and that may provide some reassurance and comfort. The person in this stage may be open and willing to discuss their tattoo, provided it was a positive experience. Confusion and misinterpretation. However, people living with dementia will experience brain change, and that brain damage may cause the person to have changes to how they perceive and interpret visual information. So their own tattoo may create feelings of anxiety. If the person is experiencing memory impairment, they may not remember getting their tattoo, or they may think the tattoo is an injury, a strange mark, or perceive it as a foreign object on their body. So what reactions might a person living with dementia have? Well, there may be no reaction. They may be unaware that of the tattoo or just not register it's there at all. They may express curiosity. They may ask questions about the tattoo. They may be confused by what the tattoo is. Therefore, they're asking, what is this? Why is this here? They may be distressed. They may see the tattoo as a threat, or they may have a fear reaction to the tattoo. They also may have a strong emotional response to tattoos. This could be either positive or negative responses, depending on the personal significance of the tattoo itself. If a person living with dementia has a tattoo and it's creating confusion, what are some of the things that we can do to help? So we could use clothing, choose clothing that covers the tattooed area. We could use soft gauze or bandages if the tattoo cannot be hidden with clothing. And we can provide reassurance if the person becomes upset. If the person living with dementia is upset or distressed by their own tattoo, we can stop having the conversation and validate the person's emotions. If they have memory impairment, we can try to redirect the conversation to something that helps distract them. And we should be aware that tattoos will change over time. So they will lighten, fade, stretch, and distort. And that may cause more confusion as it may not be as recognizable to them. If their family members or care providers have tattoos, if the person is not aware of their body art, they're not aware of the care partner or the care provider's tattoos, then we can avoid drawing attention to it. If the person does ask questions, we can provide very simple answers. They may ask if the tattoo is a sticker or a marker. My own grandmother, who had Alzheimer's disease, attempted to pick the flowers off of my mother's arm, as my mother had a tattoo of flowers. And so my grandmother perceived this as real flowers and was attempting to pick them. So here's an example of that. So just remember to just breathe. If you want to reach out to the Alzheimer's Society of Peel, you can do so at our service access phone number, extension 307, or you can email us at direct.support@alzheimerpeel.com. We can be reached in a lot of ways and followed in a lot of ways. If you have more interest in our videos, we do have an Alzheimer's Society of Peel YouTube channel where we have other dementia dishes. We're also on Instagram, X, Facebook, and we do have a monthly newsletter. Thank you for joining me today at the Dementia Dish.